Hey guys, it's Tanza. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, you're gonna be doing a get ready with me. So we're gonna be doing my makeup and my hair. So if you're interested in seeing how I accomplish this beautiful look right here, please keep watching. Okay guys, so I haven't done anything to my skin as yet. Okay, so to start off, the first thing that we'll be doing is to moisturize. And the moisturizer that I'm using today is from a company called Pure Naturals. This is actually a sample product because I actually wanted to partner up with them to create my own cosmetic line for skincare products. So this is the sample. It's a very good product, very light, very gentle on the skin. So that's why I'm actually using it today in this tutorial. Because I recently found it and I'm like, oh, this was such an amazing moisturizer. So I'm just gonna apply that and just rub that all over my skin. Okay, so now that I'm all moisturized, the next thing I'm gonna be doing is to moisturize my lips. And what I'm using today, which I used in my last video, is by LA Girl. It's actually a matte base anti-feathery lip primer. So I'm gonna be applying that to my lip. Because we just want to moisturize everything before we go in with our makeup. If you saw the last video that I shot, I actually used this and I said it was very good product. It felt like Vaseline, but it's supposed to help stop the bleeding from any lip color. It's very good, I like it. Okay, great. So our skin is moisturized, the lips are moisturized. So the next thing that we do is to apply actually I'm gonna be doing my eyebrows first. Okay, and the first thing that I do is to go in with some powder. So some translucent powder, and I'm just gonna mattify my brows. Because if I try to apply some of the eyebrow gel to it after I apply my moisturizer, it's just gonna slip and slide all over the place and be a mess. So I like to mattify it before I go in with any brow gel. So I'm just gonna apply some of that powder to both brows. I just like to feather that in, make sure it's nice and matte, and you can see that you can see the difference once I apply the powder, that it's becoming nice and matte. Okay, and I like to fill in my brows completely, so I don't go in like some of the girls, they do a very light natural look. Like I fill in my brows completely. Okay, so if you've seen my eyebrow videos, then you would see how I usually fill in those brows. So the next thing I'm gonna be doing is to just brush that out, make sure the hairs are nice and in place. Now I am growing my brows out. I'm using this brow gel that I'm using because I'm trying to get it as natural as possible. Because my brows were very thin back a couple of years ago, and I'm trying to get it as natural as possible because eyebrows are very important, guys. They actually frame the face, they make you look more youthful, just so you know. So the natural eyebrow look, it would make a big difference if you grow your natural brows out. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. So I'm using this gel and I've been growing them out for about 2 months now, and this one is completely grown out. As you can see, it looks very thick and very full. This one is still growing out. You can see it's a little bit sparse over here, and some of the hairs are still short at the end of my brows, but I'm trying to grow that out. And under here it's still a little bit sparse, so I still need to grow that out a bit. But hopefully it gets like this one and it's fully grown out, and then I can trim on it and do what I want with it. But I just want it to look as natural as possible, so I can have that in another video for you on what products I use to grow out my lashes and my brows. So I'm gonna go in with this Milani dark brown brow gel. That's actually my favorite that I'm using right now, and I usually start at the base of my brow and I just fill those in completely. I try to keep it at as natural as possible, like with the shape, I mean. So I try to keep the natural brow shape, but just fill in those areas that don't have as much hair in it as possible. So let's just get a little bit closer here so I can see a little bit better. Okay, and what I've been doing lately, guys, because I like the full brow look, and my brows are growing out, so it's really apparent when the edges are like filled and the front is not really filled. So I go in with a lighter shade of the pencil, and what I like to do is I like to just fill there in a bit so it doesn't look as apparent, because when I had less hair growing towards the end, it wasn't as bad. Okay guys, my camera cut out for a minute there, but what I like to do after I fill in the end of my brows is to go in with this pencil, this Maybelline pencil. It's a lighter shade of brown, and with light strokes I just like to fill it in. I've already done it, but I just like to fill in just this area right here to make it look more even, because as my brows are growing out, I find that I need to add a little bit more hair right there. So I just fill that in to make it look a little bit more fuller, so that everything looks more defined. Okay, so now that the brows are done, what we're gonna do next is to clean everything up, and I'm going with my Maybelline Concealing and Perfect. I'm gonna just squeeze a little bit of that, just a tiny pump of that on my hand, and with my edge brush I'm just gonna go in to clean out those brows. And what I like to do with my hand, I just like to even it out, so just blend everything in with my hand. Okay, great. So our brows are nice and defined. So what I like to do now is to go in with my foundation, and I'm using the NARS in Stromboli. This is my favorite foundation. So I'm gonna apply a little bit at the back of my hand. And with my foundation brush, I'm just gonna apply that all over my face. Okay, great. Now that that's done, I'm gonna go in with my concealer and my highlight, and I'm gonna be using the Wonder Stick by NYX, and this is in the shade Medium Light. Now I used this before in a previous video and I really like the look, so I'm gonna be using it again in this video. So first I'm gonna start off with my contouring, and this shade is a little bit on the light side, but it came out well the last time, so I'm just gonna try that out again. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my highlight. Okay, great, it's blending time. So I'm gonna go in with, I'll use my foundation brush to blend. Actually, I'm gonna go in with this tiny brush right here, and I'm gonna blend out the contouring first. Okay, great, and now I'm gonna go in with a sponge and I'm just gonna blend out my highlight. Okay, so dust a little bit everywhere. Okay, so great, everything is set in place. So what I want to do next, I want to bake under my eyes because I'm going to be applying some of my eyeshadow. So I just want to bake that. And why I like to bake, for a couple of reasons. One, it sets everything in, and two, any fallout from the eyeshadow, it falls on the powder, so it doesn't actually ruin your makeup. Okay, and the powder that I'm going in to bake is by Marcel. So that's Marcel face powder. It's a translucent powder. So I'm gonna go in with my sponge and I'll just apply that right under my eyes. So pretty much anywhere that you want to bake, anywhere you want to set, you can apply the powder. So like I can apply some like right in the middle of my forehead, anywhere you just want to set. Okay, great. And the next thing I'm gonna go in with is the eyeshadow. And if you like purple, then you love this tutorial because I'm going in with this Revlon Color Stay. I'm gonna be using this palette to create a nice purple eyeshadow look today. Now what I want to do too though, I'm gonna be cutting my crease with this shade right here from another eyeshadow company. It's called Starry Cosmetics. That's color 20608. So it's a nice glowy color. So I want to cut my crease today with this and then put this powder shadow over it to create sort of like a more intense look. But first I'm gonna start off with, so I'm gonna grab my brush and I'm gonna take a transition shade. So I'm gonna use, out of the palette, I'll use this shade right here for the transition shade. So I'm gonna use this for my crease. So I'm just gonna apply that lightly on my crease area. Okay, wonderful. And then I want to go in with my flat end brush. So I'm just gonna wipe that to make sure I have no leftover makeup on there. But my flat end brush, and I'm gonna go in with this Starway Cosmetics shadow. It's a nice glossy sort of wet makeup, so I'm gonna be applying that over my eyelid. So this would go in because I want to cut my crease, and it's very sparkly, so the reason for it would be I'm using it as a base. So it could bring out the other color that I'm gonna be putting on top of it. Okay, great. So while that's drying, I want to go in with the end of my eye because I'm going to go in with a darker shade. So the darker shade in the palette, which is this shade right here, I want to go in with that shade to create some dimension at the edge of my eye. So I normally sweep down and I'll not press hard, but I'm just gonna dab because I put in that shade on there, so I'm just gonna dab that. Because as I said, the purpose of this right there was as a base to make the shadow a bit pop a bit more, like to be a little bit more intense. Okay, now what I want to do next is to go in with a clean brush, and I just want to blend everything in. So I'm gonna go in with this brush right there just to blend it so it's not a hash. Okay, now I want to go in with another brush, and I'll go in with the lightest shade, well, this shade right here, towards the center of my eyes. And as you can see, I'm dragging that down. Because I wanted to leave as much pigment as possible. Okay, so I wanted it to pop more, but I see it's not. But anyway, it still looks okay. So I'm gonna go back in with that Starway Cosmetics shadow, and with my tiny brush, I just wanna create a little bit more shine at the corners of my eyes. So I'm just gonna go in with that. I'm just gonna apply that right at the tip of my eyes just to create a little bit more shine. Okay, great. Okay, and what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna go in towards the top. So let me just grab another brush right here. And towards the top of my eyes, I'm gonna go in with the lightest shade in the palette. and I'm just gonna sweep that across it and down. Okay, I just want to intensify the end of my eye a little bit, so I'm just gonna go back in with that darker shade. I'm just gonna blend that in just to intensify it a little bit more. Okay, now I want to do the under eye. So I'm gonna go in with my tiny brush right here, and I just want to apply that light shade, the same glowy shade I have at the corner of my eyes. I just want to apply a tiny bit right at the base of the eye. I'm just wiping out the excess. Okay, and towards the center of my eye, I want to apply the same shade I have towards the center. So it's sort of like an ombre effect. Trying to create that effect here. So I'm going to go in with the same color I have at the center of my eyes. And I'm just going to apply a tiny bit right here. And towards the edge of the eye, the darkest shade, I'm just gonna blend that in towards the edge of the eye. Okay, great. So I just want to go back in and just clean this up a little bit. Okay, wonderful. So I'm gonna be cleaning out this powder off my face now. The bake that we have there. And then I'm gonna be applying some eyeliner. So I'm gonna go in with the Milani eyeliner. Okay, great. And then I want to make sure everything is the same line also. You want to make sure that you don't have one shorter than the other or one fatter than the other. Like, you want them to be the same size. Okay, great. And then I'm gonna go in with my lower line, and I'm using Milani as well, and this one is Stay Put. So I'm just gonna apply that to my lower waterline. Okay, so what I want to do next is, now we've already contoured, but I still want to go back in with my Milani contour just to sharpen my jawbone and any areas that I just want to sharpen a little bit. So I'm just going to go in with this Milani bronzing powder. It's silky matte, and I'm just going to apply a tiny bit right here to my lower jawline just to sharpen that a little bit. And I'm just going to sharpen the areas that I contoured and right above my forehead. And I'm gonna go in with this tiny brush right here. I'm gonna do my nose also. So I like to start right here, right under my brow. And I bring that down. Just to sharpen that a little bit. And right below my lip. Okay, wonderful. And then I'm gonna go in with some blush, and the blush I'm using today is the Marcel in Dust. It's sort of like a mauve shade. So I'll use that for my cheeks. A nice smile. And blend that with my contour. Okay, great, and then we're gonna highlight. So I'm going in with my Milani highlighter, the lighter shade in the palette, this shade right here, and I'm just gonna apply a tiny bit to my cheek area. Okay, great, and I want to go in with my tiny brush. So let me just look for this tiny brush. My tiny brush, and I'm just gonna apply a tiny bit right here to my cupid area. Okay, I like to apply a little bit right here at my eyes. Make that sparkle a bit more. Okay, I'm gonna apply a tiny bit right under my eyebrows. A tiny bit on my nose. And I like to bring it all the way up. If the line is too harsh, I like to go back in and just clean it up a bit with concealer. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so what I want to do next, I'll clean it up a little bit with my concealer brush, just to make it a little bit neater. Okay, great. So the next thing I want to do is to apply my lashes, and I'm going with the Kiss lashes. So I'm just gonna apply those. So I'm gonna apply mascara to both the top and the bottom of my lashes. Okay guys, so mascara have been applied to both the top and the bottom lashes, and the next thing I want to do is to apply some edge control to my brows to just keep everything nice and in place. And the one that I'm using is called She Balm. So I'm gonna go in with my applicator brush right here, and I just use a tiny little bit, and I just brush that in an upward motion just to keep everything nice and in place. Okay, great. So the brows are in place. And the next thing I want to do is to apply my lip gloss. And the one that I'm going in is one by Starway Cosmetics. This one right here is the same shade as my blush. So I'm going to be applying this. And it's actually a lipstick. So I'm going to be applying this shade to my lips. Okay, and this color shade of lipstick is 30103. So it's a nice sort of mauve color. It's similar to my blush. Okay, and the final step, guys, would be to set everything in. And I'm going in with my Make It Last Milani. So I'm gonna spray that all over my face and I'm gonna let that dry. Okay guys, this looks very good. I'm liking it very much, very nice. So the next step would be my hair. So I plugged in my flat iron, and the flat iron that I'm using is the Glam Palm Absolute Styling. Very good, very high-end flat iron. So I plugged that in. I'm just gonna take off this tiara. And with my detangler brush, I'm just gonna brush everything out of the way. Make sure there are no tangles. And as you saw in my previous hair video, what I do, I take it by very small sections. And I just quickly pass the curling iron through it, so I quickly curl. Okay, and then I'm gonna go on this side. Okay guys, so we're all done. We're all done with the curls. So this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.